got the Willow Canyon Trail over in Laguna Canyon. It's right off of the highway coming down Laguna Canyon that is always so busy. So this is the trail going right back up in here. Just a simple parking lot. You got to pay for the day, $3, but it's scenic back in here. I'm gonna go enjoy. It does get pretty steep here at the beginning, so you just take it little by little. Made it up the big hill so far. Probably only a vertical of about, I don't know, maybe 400 feet. So it's starting to level out a little bit. We're gonna get up on these bluffs in a little bit. Still more uphill, but not as severe as the beginning. Up on the trail, this is where it starts flattening out a little bit. And then right back there, just about walked through a beehive. There's a ton of bees. But as you get up here, you can see that we're walking right over next to the toll road. So we're kind of at the back of Laguna Canyon. You know, if we face that way, you're facing kind of down to South County Orange. And then over there, that's towards Irvine and the Spectrum. But you got all these trails that are back here. A lot of people don't even know about it. Things that I do when I get back up into here, I turn on my podcasts, and I got a bunch of podcasts that I love. The one that I'm listening to today is How I Built This. If you haven't listened to it on Spotify, I'm sure it's on other services, but they go through all these you know, captains of industry that have started these companies and what they went through and how they almost went out of business. The guy that I'm listening to right now is Jensen Huang. He's the guy that started NVIDIA, and how they almost went out of business, and how everybody told them that they were just stupid and that they shouldn't be going into gaming chips. But this is what is now leading up the AI industry. And also, it's one of the biggest companies in the world, if not the biggest. Love my podcast as I'm out on a hike. Coming up this last rise, so not the end of the hills, that's the end of the kind of the bigger ones, and this is the cross trail that gets up here, or Bomber Ridge. And then you can really actually see some of the views down here. So again, looking down towards South County, and then that's going over towards the east. And as I turn over here, you can actually see all the way out to the ocean right out there. So Laguna Canyon, or Laguna, is basically that way. And if we keep on walking that way, that's where we're going to end up. Rolling trail up here. It just, you can see that it just kind of rolls along these ridges. Views of South Orange County starting to come out over here. So you can see that's Irvine, kind of Lake Forest over there, getting down to Laguna Niguel. That's going to be kind of down there to a crossing here. So this is the Big Bend Trail. You go down there. It's actually another trailhead that's up along Laguna Canyon. If you drive down Laguna Canyon a little bit further west, going down towards Laguna, you run into this trailhead. But this is the intersection here. We're still on Bomber Ridge, heading out towards Laguna. Another trail right here. This is Old Emerald. This kind of goes up towards the north just a little bit. It kind of goes down into the canyon. I've never actually taken that, but I think it goes all the way back down to Laguna Beach at some point. The place that we are going to go is right there. That's going to have some good views of the ocean. Give you a little bit of perspective on where we are and where we're going to be going. Those houses that you see right in the back right over there, that's the edge of Laguna. So all those houses kind of look out towards the ocean, and then they look down towards downtown Laguna. So it's just right over that hillside that's like right back over there, right over there. So that's some of the areas also that whenever you hear on the news where we have a bunch of rain, these houses slide down the hill. All these people that have these $2-5 million houses, and they're just like, I just didn't see it coming. In 2 months, I'm heading to Tanzania and Kilimanjaro. So I'm going to be climbing Kilimanjaro. So trying to get my mileage in. So last weekend got in 12. This weekend want to get in about 15 miles and just get some more elevation that I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to be going to 19,000 feet. The highest I've ever been is over 18,000 feet at Everest Base Camp. So I got to get my legs back under me in the next couple months. Nice view. Nice view. Let's get out there a little bit more. Here's another connecting trail. So this one's boat road. It goes down. You can actually see way down there kind of one of the little areas of Laguna with the houses that are kind of right down around the coast. We're not going that way. We're going to go up here for a little bit more. Still heading towards Laguna, but heading downhill just a little bit. And then I'm gonna get out to that ridge that's right over there. So hopefully we can get like a little view going down the coast and looking down into Laguna, because it is kind of a cool view over there. I haven't seen any snakes. I've actually seen probably about 6 snakes this year in Southern California. 4 of them being rattlers. We've all heard about these snakes that have struck, I think it's 3 people that have died in Southern California this year from rattlesnakes, and you just don't hear about that ever. But this has all happened within 1 year, so I don't know what's different about it. You know, you got to be right on top of a rattlesnake for it to really strike you, or within, you know, half the length of his body, or I forget what it is, but you know, they usually just don't strike. So you got to be right on top of that sucker for it to really hit you. You know, I love this time of year because it's spring. Got a little bit of water. You got some greenery that's out here. And all this brush just becomes really scented, really nice to look at. And then this is all sage right here. Oh my God, it just smells so good. This trail just starts to dive off, go down the Laguna, and that's not where we want to go. Because then we're going to be walking along the Laguna Canyon Road, which is really busy, pain in the ass. I actually did that once before, where I walked all the way down to the coast, and then we said, hey, let's just walk up the Canyon Road. It's miserable. Feel like you're going to get hit by a car the entire time because there's so many people coming down the Laguna. But now you can actually kind of see down the coast just a little bit. So there's the coastline down there, you know, in the heart of the city for Laguna. And then there's some of these houses, and you can see some of these slide areas where some of these houses have kind of just slid down, and some of them have been built. I think that that's actually the big slide that happened there back probably about 15 years ago or 20 years ago, where I think it was 20 houses just slid down the slope. It's starting to head back. Not sure how many miles I've done. Go ahead and report on that at the end of the video when I figure this out. I usually just go and not worry about the number of miles. Don't really care about it. I like a trail that has a little bit of elevation, so you get that hill, big hill, a couple big hills that you walk up so you can burn those hamstrings. Hill. Some people riding their bikes. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Getting up to the top of this ridge, so you can kind of see in the background over there the trail that we're kind of going over. So it always feels like it's level or just slightly going downhill. When you kind of get up to the top here and start heading down towards Laguna, it's not. So you hit some hills, get your hammies going again. It's a good hike. I think I'm coming up to the last rise before kind of bumps along, and then over there a little ways gonna be dropping back down my canyon back to Big Bend and Bomber Ridge. That's the trail going down to the other parking lot that we talked about. So next stop is our turnoff. All right, I think right over there is where our trail branches off, or right up beyond that little knoll that's right back there. This video is going on to my YouTube channel that I just started, and it's called Hobby Hiker, and I'm trying to find out the format and what I should be doing. What I want to do with this channel is just, you know, hike these trails and give a video perspective of what they kind of look like, because I'm not really seeing anything else on YouTube, and I enjoy doing this type of stuff. So it's natural for me to come out here and film this, just along with my other channel that I do, which is called Expedition Unbound. And that's, you know, a new channel. So I'm new to this entire thing, and I'm just trying to come, you know, post these videos and just see where they go, because I go on these adventures. So in this last year, I've been to Vietnam, and then to Morocco, to the north coast of Africa. And then, you know, just as I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm going to Kilimanjaro here in 2 months. And then at the end of the year, I'm going to be in Patagonia. But I really wish I started recording all these different adventures, you know, earlier, because I've done the Everest Base Camp, as I mentioned, but running of the bulls in the Nepali coast over in Hawaii, which is a really dangerous hike. And I've done a bunch of these things, Turkey multiple times, Spain. We're always going on some different type of adventure, and, you know, going and doing something out of the ordinary, which I really like. Like in Vietnam this last year, my son and I went and ate cobra. So you go and pick out your own cobra, and they kill it there for you, and then they take the heart and put it into a glass of vodka, and then you drink the beating heart. And it's not for everybody, but it's a unique experience. It's part of one of the delicacies that they do over in Vietnam, and it's just fun and out of the ordinary. I'm not one to go sit on a beach. I want to be out enjoying nature, going and checking shit out, going doing something kind of extraordinary like the running of the bulls, and being a part of that, and getting drunk with all the locals. That's just awesome. So tell me in the comments, you know, for this Hobby Hiker channel, what you see, what you want to focus on, because I want to gear this towards, you know, the consumers that are going to be doing, you know, the different hikes that are around Southern California, around the world. And I'm even going to be posting my Kilimanjaro hike onto my Expedition Unbound, along with the Hobby Hiker channel. Just tell me what you want to see. Okay, I can tell that we're getting towards our turnoff over here. So we're going to be heading downhill, down that big hill that we turned up. I'll show you the trailhead sign right here. So there's the Willow Canyon, and we're going to be heading right back down here. We could keep on going straight ahead, but that goes over towards the toll road, and we don't want to go that way, and then we're going to have to turn back anyways to get back to our car. So we're going to head straight down here. End of the hill, down to the level part, finally. There's the ranger station over here. That's the area where sometimes they have kids that come up here and they do different types of activities. This is like a little seating area, and then there's also I believe it's a trail map right here. We are back down. This is the parking lot, and then this is also the trail map. You do have to pay for parking, and when you pay for parking, it's $3, and that's for the entire day. It does take credit cards. It takes cash also. This is the Laguna Canyon Road that's right over here. Here's the Willow Canyon Laguna Coast sign. You can see that right up there, OC Parks. And there you go. Come and hike it. Get your workout on. Get those thighs to burn.